Most wine lovers would know that Australia is a prominent new world wine producing country with most of its wine regions concentrated towards the southeast and some towards the southwest. Boasting of more than 100 grape varieties and 65 distinctive wine regions, Australia is not only the sixth largest wine producer of the world but also the fifth largest exporter as well. Quite logically then, Australia has been making a strong pitch to the Indian market, especially after the much celebrated economic cooperation and trade agreement signed between the two countries. As part of such efforts, the Australian Pavilion at ProWine Mumbai 2024 saw a strong presence of Australian wineries presenting a diverse range of wines. Let's have a look. So now I am at the Australian Pavilion. People are slowly coming in. There are some tastings going around. So very exciting wines today from Australia because I came across a picolate which essentially belongs to Friuli Venezia Giulia in Italy. But this is the first time I am coming across a picolate which is a desert wine from Australia. Picolate is the name of a grape variety as well. And now apart from that, there's some very exciting low alcohol wines with just 0.2% of alcohol. Can you believe it? I mean, it's guilt-free also, less of the calories also, and they say that it is not lacking on any front on the flavors. As the day warms up, let's visit the masterclass arena where an Australian wine masterclass is currently happening.
Will be able to come into India at much reduced tariff rates than the 150% tariff rate which applies to every single other country in the world. We're investing heavily in this market, but also about the wine category in India more broadly. Our Australian winemakers are collaborating with the Indian wine industry to grow the Indian wine industry as well. So it's not just about us, it's also about wine more broadly. So Russian trade agreement, which means that wine...
And you'll notice that you have Perth on the left, on the absolute left, and then you have Sydney, for example, on the absolute right.
So coming back to the Australian Wine Pavilion, let's go around and explore.
The Peach Pure range is a much bigger one. We've gotten 4 variants right now, 2 whites and 2 reds, Sauvignon Blanc, Chardonnay, Shiraz and Cabernet. They're not yet launched. I mean, this is like the first...
These are the no and low alcohol Eden Vale wines.
They are.
What is the generic average alcohol percentage?
The average, the international standard is 0.5 for non-intoxicating.
Okay.
So they're finishing about 0.2.
I was also lucky to meet my friend Kamal Malik, India's one and only master sommelier, and invited him to taste some Aussie wines with me.
We're at about 200, so we're on the east side, used to draw out that extra oiliness and flavour and texture. Some have got more tannin. The bigger berries tend to have a more juicy character to them.
We have the highest elevation in the Shiraz and Cabernet vineyards in the Barossa Valley, GI, so right at the border. And compared to most other wineries that usually use.
Bidding adieu to my master sommelier friend, my next stop was the panel discussion area where stimulating discussions were happening.
The last 10 years, and particularly over the last 3 or 4,
Among other wines, Metala wines from Langhorne Creek in South Australia have some of the oldest grapevines, including the oldest Cabernet Sauvignon vineyards in the world. Some of their wines are already being imported in India. Then there was Pitch and Barrel, a brand as a tribute to the Aussie love for cricket and wine. They had some approachable and delicious wines. Punt Road from Yarra Valley had some amazing cool climate expressions of Pinot Noir, Chardonnay, Shiraz, Gamay and more. Turner's Crossing was another inspiring winery from Victoria, famed for its consistently high-rated wines like the Crossing Shiraz and several blends. They are the ones that produce the rare Italian desert wine Picolette that I had mentioned towards the beginning of this video. A specialist in Shiraz and Cabernet Sauvignon wines in McLaren Vale, Mitolo Winery's stall was a buzzing destination. And there was a trading company called M&M, a Sydney-based startup focused on supplying the Indian market with premium wines sourced from boutique wineries across Australia. Ending my round on a sweet note, I sampled a Hickey, a plant-based dairy-free coconut liqueur that delighted hordes of guests at a separate booth. Ahiki is a blend of coconut cream, whiskey, natural vanilla, and chocolate.
Very much, Ravi. It's great to be here at ProWine Mumbai 2024. We have some wonderful Australian wineries joining us this year at the Austrade Pavilion, or the Australia Pavilion, representing across the east coast to the west coast in collaboration with our groups from the governments of New South Wales and also Victoria as well. It's been fantastic to be here over the last couple of days, meeting with Indian wine importers, meeting with the Indian hospitality fraternity, and it's been a tremendous success. We're very, very proud of being able to partner with India economically and strategically, and also to assist in the growth of the Indian wine sector through technical cooperation, as well as engaging with a lot of good friends and good company, and most importantly, good wine.